Did you know that your liver could be suffering silently without you even realizing it? That's right. And the worst part is that it only gives you signs that something is wrong when the problem is already advanced. Ignoring these signs can have serious consequences for your health, and many of them are so silent that they go unnoticed. Today, I'm going to tell you about 7 signs that may indicate that your liver is in danger. Signs that most people ignore. Pay attention, because this could make all the difference in protecting your body and your health before it's too late. Think of your liver as a big cleaning station inside your body. It works around the clock to filter out toxins, store nutrients, and make sure everything is working properly. But sometimes, your liver cells can build up fat and become inflamed. Over time, this can form scar tissue, which is like a small bruise, and these scars can interfere with your liver's ability to function properly. If you don't take care of it, it can kill these important cells and even harm your overall health. This incredible organ works hard to keep our bodies functioning properly, but sometimes it gives us signs that something isn't right, but these signs can be hard to spot. Today, I'm going to show you 7 important signs that your liver may be sending you. But you may be wondering, what causes this? Well, that's the surprising part. There is a type of liver problem that is not caused by alcohol, and it is much more common than you might think. Many people think that the liver is only affected by heavy drinkers, but fatty liver, as we call it, can affect anyone, even those who have never touched alcohol. In fact, the number of fatty liver problems caused by other causes is much higher than that caused by alcohol. The complication lies in the fact that the liver doesn't warn you right away when something is wrong. It gives you small signs, but they are easy to ignore. For example, sometimes you may feel discomfort in the area of your right rib, which is right above your liver. It feels like a tightness or even a slight pain, and many people don't even think that this could be a sign from the liver. And there's more. These initial signs can be so subtle that by the time a person finally discovers the problem, up to 90% of the liver cells may already be damaged. That's why it's so important to understand your body's signals. I've been there. When I was in my early 20s, my liver was already in serious trouble, and I had no idea it could be this. And I wasn't even a big drinker. That's why I want to share these signs with you. It's a way of taking care of ourselves and those we love, because the sooner we detect these signs, the better chance we have of protecting our liver and ensuring that it functions well for much longer. 1th. Sensation of pressure or pain under the ribs on the right side. I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me, and it was very confusing. Do you know when we feel a dull pain in the shoulder, arm, or even the back, close to the scapula, that part between the shoulder and the spine? I felt this kind of pain, right on my right side, and I thought it was a problem with my muscles or, perhaps, with my gallbladder. The gallbladder is a small sachet where the body stores bile, a liquid made by the liver that helps us digest fats from food. But do you know what I discovered? The real problem wasn't in my muscles or my gallbladder. It was in my liver. When the liver is inflamed or swollen, it can put pressure on the channels that carry bile to the gallbladder. This swelling ends up sending a very annoying pain to my right shoulder, through a nerve called the phrenic nerve. It's as if my body was sending a strange message that something was wrong, but in a different place than where the problem really was. I tried everything to relieve the pain, massages, stretching, but nothing worked. Until I realized that the entire right side of my body, even my neck, was tense because of this liver problem. The tension was so great that it even pulled some vertebrae, the bones in the spine, to the side, and this compressed a nerve that went to my right arm. Result, I felt pain in my arm, shoulder, and neck, without having any idea that the origin of all this was my liver. So if you ever feel a strange discomfort on your right side, it might be a good idea to check your liver. The body is like that. Sometimes it sends signals about a problem in a completely different place than where the problem actually is. 2th. Fatigue and lack of energy. It's frustrating when we're focused on the wrong thing and end up not really solving the problem, right? And that's what happened to me. For example, one of the signs that I didn't notice right away was the lack of energy. It wasn't that I felt completely exhausted, but it felt like my resistance was lower. When I exercised or did any activity that was a little more intense, I soon felt tired and had to rest earlier than usual. Even after eating, instead of feeling renewed, it felt like my energy disappeared. This kind of tiredness can turn into a really annoying weakness, you know? It's like we lose that vitality and strength we normally have. I know some people with liver problems who are so weak that they have trouble even getting up from a chair. And if they're sitting on the floor, it seems like it takes them much longer to get up, as if their body needs an extra push to get up. 3th. Itchy feet or hands. Another strange sign I noticed was an uncomfortable sensation in my feet, especially on the sole of my foot, right near the arch. This can happen in other parts of the body too, but for me it was in my foot. This happens because of the bile salts that end up accumulating in the body, especially in the extremities, such as the hands and feet. And it's funny, because many people notice the sensation more at night, when they're standing still, probably because circulation decreases and the discomfort becomes more evident. Before we continue with the next signal, just check if you are already subscribed to the channel, because here I will bring a series of content that will help you a lot to improve and take care of your health. 4th. Small red dots on the skin. The 4th sign is small red spots or spider veins on the skin, which appear due to an increase in estrogen, a hormone that the liver normally helps to keep under control. With liver problems, this hormone builds up. In men, it can even cause the growth of breast tissue, while in women, excess estrogen causes other problems. In addition, the skin may start to become smoother, because estrogen has this effect of making the skin soft, which is natural for women, but when in excess, it can also lead to the loss of body hair. Have you ever seen older men who start to lose the hair on their legs and have very smooth and shiny skin? This can actually be a sign of liver problems. 5th. Thyroid problems. Now let's move on to the 5th sign, the relationship with the thyroid. The thyroid needs the liver to activate its hormones correctly. So, if the liver is not functioning properly, the thyroid also begins to suffer. When this happens, you may experience a number of symptoms, such as fatigue, hair loss, lack of energy, high cholesterol, and dry skin. It's amazing how one thing affects the other, isn't it? 6th. Low vitamin D. Did you know that vitamin D doesn't just come from the sun? It does a lot of important things in our bodies, from strengthening our bones to making our muscles strong. But when vitamin D is lacking, your whole body can feel it. In the next video, we'll dive into this topic, so subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss out on this incredible content that's coming. Vitamin D is so important for our body that if it is lacking, it can cause many problems, such as spasms, muscle tightening, muscle knots. Everything that vitamin D is so important in the body that it influences 10% of all your genes, which you are talking about 2,500 different genes that it influences, so the function of vitamin D goes far beyond inflammation, calcium regulation, muscle. 7th. Dark, strong-smelling urine. Now, if you start to notice that your urine is getting darker than normal, or smelling strange, this could be a sign of liver problems. You may even be wondering, what happened here? This is your body's way of signaling that your liver isn't working properly. These are the 7 signs that your liver may be giving you when it needs help. But the most important thing now is to understand the real cause of liver problems. When you research this on the internet, you may end up even more confused, because everyone talks about different causes, such as obesity or alcohol. The truth is that, although obesity is a risk factor, the root of the problem goes beyond that. I'm talking about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is related to metabolic syndrome. This involves high blood sugar levels, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and, of course, obesity. All of these factors together are largely responsible for many liver problems, such as inflammation and even the development of cirrhosis. So, the cause is not just alcohol, but this set of factors that affect liver health in general. Blood sugar and cholesterol. When we talk about high blood sugar, we are dealing with hyperglycemia, which can develop into type 2 diabetes if left unchecked. High cholesterol, which is called hypercholesterolemia, and high blood pressure, which is essential hypertension, are factors that compromise health and are treated with medications such as furin for cholesterol, Lipitor to reduce blood fats, and Linol to control blood pressure. Often, a diuretic called hydrochloride is also prescribed to help thin the blood, and even some insulin control medications, OIC, may be indicated. This treatment has become quite common in modern medicine and is quite normalized, as if it were the definitive solution to these problems. It turns out that behind these treatments, There is a strong connection between these factors and the root cause of many health problems, including liver disease. When we talk about risk factors, what is really behind these problems are processed foods, such as starch, which is basically sugar, and seed oils. These ingredients are at the heart of many metabolic and cardiovascular disorders. And more importantly, the ones who fund nutritional studies and influence food policies are large industries that have a very close relationship with agencies like the FDA, Food and Drug Administration in the United States. The truth is that, many times, what we are recommended to treat the symptoms does not address the underlying causes of these problems. To help you understand, a 22-year-old soccer player was recently tested to see how his diet impacted his performance. During our conversation, I discovered that he frequently ate fast food, such as McDonald's, and even started his day with pancakes covered in syrup for breakfast. When I asked him if he had any health problems, he told me that he was a bit tired and couldn't sleep well. When I asked him more about his health, he revealed that his doctor had recommended statins to lower cholesterol, even though he was only 22. This made me realize that doctors were focusing more on medication than on changing diet, which is a growing problem, especially among young people. Many people think that because they are young and not overweight, they can eat junk food without consequences, which is nothing more than extremely high-calorie meals. But this dietary choice causes serious long-term damage, far beyond what they realize. If a 22-year-old starts taking statins, he could end up facing serious problems, such as muscle damage, loss of energy, and even impaired cognitive function and testosterone. Testosterone, which is essential for male health, is made from cholesterol, and by blocking cholesterol with these medications, we are directly interfering with the production of this vital hormone. Over time, this can have a number of negative effects on the body. What is really happening here is a huge omission, and the real culprit for this situation is the food industry. They have normalized these practices and hidden the true cause of health problems. Instead of solving the real causes, these big industries prefer that the population continue to be an ATM, spending on medicines and food products that only make the problems worse. Now, when I talk about alternatives, like doctors talk about ketosis, which is a method that helps people reduce their intake of sugar, starches, and seed oils, many call them quacks. They try to cast doubt on whether ketosis can actually help you lose weight, but what no one talks about is the long-term effects of this misinformation campaign. The truth is that the ketogenic diet is a great alternative to improve your health, but the junk food industry doesn't want you to know that because it would jeopardize their profits. That's why you hear so many criticisms about the ketogenic diet, and even about doctors who prescribe it to their patients, saying that they're not real doctors. Some doctors don't follow conventional medicine and prescribe medications that only treat symptoms. They prefer to seek out the real cure, without relying on drugs that don't address the underlying problem. If you've made it this far, congratulations! Now you know a lot more about your liver health. If you want more tips like these and don't want to miss any new health content, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This helps a lot and keeps you up to date with everything. See you in the next video.